In the most recent update of Limbus Company, which happened after a really funny livestream, the mirror dungeon mode of the game got some huge additions that have been teased quite a while ago. The additions in question are a new, longer variant to the Mirror of the Dreaming, as well as an achievement system that rewards the player for taking on the challenge of the 10th floor dungeon. This update promises to add more variety to the most replayed game mode in Limbus Company, and I believe that it can pose quite a challenge to newer players that have not got their hands on a powerful team yet. And so, in today's video I want to take a look at the new mode, as well as the achievements that come with it, and also talk about how you can easily take down the new challenge, as well as showcase some fun tactics you can use to soar far above your enemies in the new mode. Although I do want to preface this video by saying that it's designed to help new players who are inexperienced with the mirror dungeons. The concepts I will be talking about are pretty well known within the community, so keep that in mind. But before we start, I have to tell you guys that most of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you find yourself coming back to my videos or end up enjoying this one, consider subscribing to not miss out on my new uploads. It takes just a second and helps me out a lot. Without further ado, let's get back to the Infinity Mirror. First off, what is this great new mode? Well, Parallel Superposition mode, or the Infinity Mirror, is an optional bonus to the Mirror of the Dreaming. After completing a mirror dungeon run, if you cleared all 5 stages in hard mode and the switch to the mode is set to on, you will be given a prompt to enter Parallel Superposition. By the way, the mode switch can also be found after pressing escape during your mirror dungeon run, so there's no problem if you forgot to turn it on before starting. In this wacky new mode, you get access to 5 more stages for your mirror dungeon run. The packs available in stages 6 through 10 are all floor 5 packs, so you'll have to face the strongest foes this mode has to offer throughout the entirety of your run's second half. In addition, the mounting trials are also changed in the bonus floors. While the mechanic itself works as usual, the trials are vastly different from those you get normally. All the trials give enemies more HP and damage, while also providing them with final power, clash power, base power, coin power or offense level, which is basically more power. Notably, the damage taken reductions seem to be gone from the new trials, allowing you to deal the full damage of whatever crazy build you end up making in the Infinity Mirror. One of the new trials even has a heart drawn in the signature green marker in its icon. How cute! However, it gives enemies 2 fucking coin power, so yeah, nice try Kim Ji-hoon, I'm not clicking that. That's about it for the actual additions to the mode itself, but another piece of content that has been added in this update are the achievements tied to the mirror dungeons. The achievement system features a ton of challenges that are currently separated into 2 categories: Collection and Clears. The Collection category rewards the player for picking up different ego gifts throughout their runs, and finishing runs with a lot of ego gifts that buff the same archetype. The Clears section, on the other hand, rewards the player for going further in their runs and completing more of them. Notably, you complete the challenges only when you consume encapsuling modules after ending the run, so you cannot get the achievements for free. Completing the new challenges awards the player with these hammers, which are effectively a new type of experience tied to your achievement level. Getting 100 hammers gives you a new level, and with each of these levels you get some nice rewards. The rewards currently feature upgrade materials like ID training tickets and thread, as well as extraction tickets. But in the following weeks we will also get some cool cosmetic rewards that you can already look at in the rewards list screen. Now, with this introduction to the Parallel Superposition mode out of the way, let's take a look at how you can easily clear the mode. To do that, I want to look at 3 teams and talk about 3 key concepts that will make your runs better if you aren't already using them. The teams in question are Bleed, Poise and Tremor, and the concepts I'll talk about are ego funneling, multi-classing and exclusive ego gifts. We'll start with Bleed, as that is currently the most popular team. I don't think you can check the statistics, so you'll have to believe me on that one. Bleed is a team that's known to be extremely strong in all game modes of Limbus Company, due to having some of the best identities both in terms of clashing and dealing damage. The normal mirror dungeon is no exception to that rule, as Bleed performs extremely well when clearing the 5 floors, for obvious reasons. However, as you go up into floor 8 and above, you will start to realize that without a way to instantly get enough bleed to fulfill the double coin conditionals on the skills of the Bloodfiends, the clash power of your identities will often not be enough to deal with the amped up enemies waiting for you in the upper floors. That much is true for all identities except one. The first deployed identity in the Bleed team gets extra buffs from Bloody Mist, allowing that unit to outclash enemies even on the last floor of the dungeon. But one ally winning clashes isn't enough to save your entire team. Or is it? This is where your ego skills come into play. Winning one clash and staggering one enemy might not make much of an impact on your encounters, but winning a clash and killing the entire enemy team with one skill definitely will. Meet Yearning Merkala Dawn, the ego skill that does exactly that. If Dawn is given the first slot with Bloody Mist, Punctured Memory and Fragment of Allurement, her Yearning Merkala ego can deal enough damage to absolutely demolish every encounter you come across. That allows you to win floor 10 runs even without a strong team, and due to the fact that one singular ego skill is carrying you through the game, you won't even have to spend a lot of time farming up ego resources on the earlier floors, as you would if you went in expecting to ego spam throughout the later floors with skills that cannot carry you like that. This idea is not exclusive to Bleed, as realistically all an ego skill needs to be able to carry you is 7 attack weight, meaning skills like Sun Shower, Blind Obsession, Binds and Contempt Awe can all be funneled by giving their users better buffs to clear out entire waves in a single proc. Certain gifts make this way of beating the mode even easier, as Faith makes it so that your sinners never run out of SP to cast the ego skills, while Rusty Commemorative Coin synergizes well with the single coin ego skills by doubling their damage, so they can be on par with the multi-coin skills. What I'm trying to say here is that if you are a newer player looking to take on the challenge of the Infinity Mirror, but you do not have a team that can effectively utilize unique ego gifts, or simply lacks power, dispensing an ego skill or just buying the pass can give you a strong tool for this mode, as well as any other mode, because some of these skills are just kind of overpowered. Next up we have Poise, and the idea of multi-classing. Now, I don't know if this has a name already, I haven't seen anyone describe the idea with one word, so I just made up a name for it, but the idea itself is quite simple. During your mirror dungeon run, to maximize efficiency, instead of going for as many ego gifts for your own archetype as possible, you can opt to get gifts from other categories, and rely on their own synergies to get more value. The reason why I'm picking Poise for this is not because Poise benefits from this idea more than other teams, but instead every other team has an easy time multi-classing into Poise. So yeah, I lied to you, we're not talking about Poise, we're talking about everything but Poise. The way multi-classing works is simple. Most effect-based gifts in the mirror dungeon do one of two things. They either allow you to inflict or gain more of the status effect, or convert that status effect into a different buff or debuff. You can use this fact to get the value of strong secondary effects without having to build a team around the archetype that the associated gift belongs to. The most popular example of this is getting Nebulizer and Clear Mirror Calm Water. Nebulizer provides your team with a burst of Poise, and keeps adding on to the stack if you get Pride Resonance. Clear Mirror, on the other hand, increases the damage of critical hits that you get from Poise drastically, while also giving your identities a juicy 15 offense level steroid after they crit. This interaction is massive, and it improves the quality of your runs a lot, but it's not the only combo you can use for multi-classing. You can increase your poise gain by adding gifts such as Ornamental Horseshoe, Emerald Elytra, 4-Leaf Clover and Pendant of Nostalgia. Then, the higher amount of poise can be used to buff your team even further by getting Cigarette Holder and Finifugality. For non-poise options, you also have the classic combo of Downpour and Melted Eyeball, which forces the enemy team to endure heavy offense and defense level debuffs every turn. There are other options for multiclassing, but Poise and Tremor are the most notable by far. However, if you really want to squeeze out every bit of damage this game has to offer, you can look for other synergies in other archetypes. And hey, if you find something interesting, leave it in the comments to help out others. Another way multiclassing can be implemented into your run is using hybrid teams. Hybrid teams consist of identities that have 2 or more status effects in their kits, which makes it possible to buff them with fusion gifts for both status effects. The most prominent hybrid team is Blois, which is a mix of Bleed and Poise. Consisting of the Picot trio and at least 2 other Bleed Poise identities, this team can make use of both Bloody Mist and Lucky Sack for its coin power, allowing its identities to reach incredible power values, especially when further buffed by other power-related gifts. Outside of Blois, you can also build a Charge Rapture hybrid by using Warp Corp identities. Adding Rapture to Charge doesn't increase the power of your identities, but it definitely impacts their damage output through both Rapture itself as well as certain Rapture Ego gifts. Although I have to say that Charge can already deal good damage on its own, so adding Rapture to it is not that big of an upgrade, unless you're looking to maximize the strengths of certain identities. The final team we'll look at is Tremor, and we'll use the team to talk about exclusive ego gifts. And exclusive ego gifts are exactly what you think they are. They're gifts that are exclusive to certain theme packs, and cannot be obtained outside of them. But I think everyone knows about these gifts already. The more interesting ones are exclusive fusion gifts that the game really doesn't tell you about unless you go out of your way to test fusing each and every gift you get. These exclusive fusions tend to be extremely powerful and can make the teams that they're tied to much stronger. Tremor is a team I picked as an example for this, and that is because Tremor as a team doesn't perform super well in the Infinity Mirror. Its normal fusions don't give the team any coin power increases, and the identities that are present in the team aren't broken enough to put up enough of a fight on their own. So the later floors of the dungeon devolve into spamming ego skills and hoping for the best. However, if you enter a time-killing time pack during your run and pick up and fuse some ego gifts there, the team's position gets entirely flipped. Now your units are rolling crazy numbers, and you're getting dominating clashes on all of your units even at floor 10. All the while, the damage of your team only gets better, making Tremor arguably the best team for the mode. The same thing happens to Charge, Bleed and Poise, as the power of those teams changes greatly upon picking up some exclusive ego gifts. This makes these gifts absolutely necessary if you want to destroy the mode with certain teams. But it is a simple knowledge check. I would go over each of the packs as well as the strongest fusion gifts you can get from them, but instead I will simply leave a link in the description to Limbus Company's wiki page on these fusion gifts. Once you get acquainted with these, your runs will definitely get better, as you will have access to the best tools this mode has to offer. And that's it for the 3 things I think can help you with your parallel superposition climb. If you have found this video helpful, well, I'm glad you did. And if you are a player that is no stranger to the things I've talked about in this video, please do leave a comment if I have missed anything or if you have something to add. Also, on the topic of comments, I wonder if you guys want more videos on this mode. Parallel superposition is quite fun, and I would love to make more content on it if there is a demand. If you enjoyed the video at any point, leave a like to let me know. And if you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye!